और हमारे साथ इस वक्त जुड़ रहे हैं भारत में इजराइल के राजदूत रूवेन अजार साहब। वेलकम रूवेन अजार साहब।
Thank you, Kishore.
Now,
Namaste.
what's happened here in this operation by the Indian Army? How does Israel see it, and in the context of terrorism in the world?
Well, Kishore, it's only natural that Israel would support the right of self-defense of India in the backdrop of this atrocious attack, unprecedented attack in which people were massacred in such a terrible way. So Israel stands with India because we know how it feels to be hit, how by terrorists that kill indiscriminately civilians, innocent lives. India has a right to defend itself.
More important, this was not even indiscriminate what happened in Pahalgam, because they asked for the religion and then had the killings.
Right. And this is a terrible thing. It's an escalation. It only shows, Kishore, that the terrorists, as much as India and Israel rise as developed nations, as much as they develop their economy, as they develop their strength, their strategic standing, they are getting more desperate. They are breaching any rule of humanity, any norm that humanity has created, in order to try to narrow the gap that is being created between our success and their failure.
How do you see it as a parallel to what's happening in Israel, the situation in Israel, and the situation that India faces of one of these in such attacks?
Well, although it's not identical, we have here a lot of similarities. Because on the 7th of October, we've seen how these bloodthirsty terrorists were boasting on their GoPro cameras about the killing of people that went to a music festival to celebrate life. How they attacked people in their homes, in their beds, while they were sleeping. How they, killed children, they killed grown-ups in front of the children, and vice versa. How they burned babies, how they raped. So, we know that terrorism cannot be justified. It has to be condemned. We have to act against terrorism. And of course, that every nation has the right to act to defend itself against terrorism.
But Israel also faces this propaganda many times from many, even well-meaning countries, states which act as friends, that the people who are clearly sympathizing with the terrorists are seen as victims in some sort.
Well, what's the problem, Kishore, is that terrorism is being contextualized, and we cannot allow that. It's not enough to condemn terrorism. If you go and justify terrorism in any way because somebody has a grievance or somebody has a problem, this creates the problem. We have to condemn terrorism, act against terrorism, and of course that every nation should aspire, especially democracies, to solve our conflicts in a peaceful way. But when you are facing a situation in which innocent people are being massacred, this has to be delegitimized, and countries should cooperate together to refrain from allowing the spreading of radical content, from allowing social media to do that, electronic media to do that. We can do much more to expose those who are harboring terrorists. We can do much more to punish them. We can work in concert in the international community to fight against terrorism, because today it is hitting you, yesterday it hit us, tomorrow it will hit somebody else.
You talked of electronic media and media in general. What would you say of the so-called media in the world that doesn't even label terrorists as terrorists, but they call them gunmen and militants?
Well, they're doing a terrible mistake. And, they think that this is maybe a law enforcement issue, or they think that this is far away from them, that you cannot touch them. But we've seen time and again that terrorism knows no borders. When you fail to tackle it in one place, it will pop up in another place, and in a more atrocious way. Look what's happening in our region. The terrorists have sophisticated weapons. They are firing missiles. They are firing ballistic missiles. They have the means to produce them. So if this situation continues, nobody in the world is going to be safe. We have to act decisively against terrorism if we want to curb that problem, and there cannot be any discounts when it comes to terrorism.
Finally, what would be the message of the people of Israel to the people of India?
Well, we stand by India. We know what is to be a victim of terrorism. We are going to do whatever is necessary to tackle terrorism in the Gaza Strip, to finish the job, to bring the hostages back, and to take Hamas out of the Gaza Strip. And we trust the Indian government to do whatever is necessary to deal with the problems that they are dealing in a successful way. We trust them, and I'm sure they will do it.
Thank you for being with us. Ambassador Reuven Azar, Israel के राजदूत हमारे साथ थे. Thank you, sir, for being with us on News 18 India.
Thank you.
तो हम भारत